Hello everybody, how are you? Earlier I said it was late night in Los Angeles, but it wasn't. It was only early evening. Now it's late night. Midnight, actually. Well, 12:14. Could you say midnight 14? Why don't they allow you to do that? Like mid-14, midnight 14. Folks, how are you doing? I just had a thought, because I had a few minutes. Why not do another of these crazy videos called Things You Can Only Do in, and name the city. Name the city you want. We've got 7 or 8 different videos on this. And a town, and they're all in Texas, because I've been writing a book about Texas called Joe Ditzel Has Some Problems in Texas. And why not, in addition to the cities we've already done, which include the major cities of Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and smaller communities such as Corpus Christi and Waco, why not go all the way down to the border, to the romantic Old West, to the town of Laredo. So, without further ado, by the way, quick disclaimer, I feel this is necessary because it's so ludicrous, these videos. All this is 10 things you can only do in Laredo, Texas, which is basically each of these items I will improv off the top of my head, and most of them are completely ludicrous. I want to tell you that up front so that you're not sitting there on YouTube going, I was actually looking for real things to do in Laredo. That's not this video. This video is for if you like silliness. Because that's what you're about to experience. All right, here we go. 10 things you can only do in Laredo, Texas. 10 things. Number 1, did you know that Laredo is a major transportation center? It is. That's because it's right on the border with a major trading partner called Mexico. So there are a lot of interesting things that come with being a major transportation center. One of which is a service called Drop Me in a Box. Drop Me in a Box is a new shipping service that is supposed to be a halfway point between cheap 2-day Amazon Prime delivery and the cheapest airline seat you can buy, which more than likely is Southwest or perhaps Spirit Airlines. Drop Me in a Box is a box where they drop you. They literally, and there's air holes. You're basically shipped like a package. Now, you're saying, wait a minute, what if I'm going on a long flight? Don't worry. There's bathroom facilities. There's a little fridge in there. You're going to be fine. But you will not be able to talk to the person next to you on the plane. There's no movies. There's no cart service. There's nobody coming around picking up your empty plastic cup. It's drop me in a box with some minimal food and beverage items and some very spare bathroom utilities, and that's it. You get in there, they got breathing holes, and then they land the plane at your destination. They roll out all of the cargo, one of which is you. They roll out all of the cargo boxes, one of which is you. And then they open the box and they say, welcome to New York City, or wherever the heck you're going. Well, where did that concept start? It started in Laredo, Texas. And to this day, no other city, no other transportation hub has picked up this innovative passenger change their delivery system. So that means it's number one on our list of 10 things you can only do in Laredo, Texas. Number 2, Laredo is the southern tippy tip of the, do y'all have that southern tippy tip steak? Laredo is the southern tippy tip of I-35. I-35 is a major north-south corridor transportation ribbon that cuts through the United States like a scissors cutting through Christmas gift wrap. And what does that mean? Well, I mean, that means that you can get on the freeway, you can get your car started down the road on the 35 from Laredo. This is number 2 on our list. It can only do this in Laredo. And if you donate $35 to the United States Interstate Commission, they will stamp your forehead with a sticker that says toll-free through South Dakota. So that means you can take the I-35 all the way up to the Canadian border without paying one toll. But you must pay and start your journey in Laredo, Texas. And that's why it's number 2 on our list of things you can only do in Laredo. Number 3, guys, of course it's a transportation center, it's a business center, but Laredo is also a town full of neighborhoods of families and schools and churches. Well, what is the fastest growing neighborhood in Laredo, Texas? It's Laredo Heights. Laredo Heights, now Laredo's not a huge town, but Laredo Heights is on the bluff overlooking the city, and who's up on that bluff? It's the Richie Rich types. It's the types that have all of the stuff that they'd always ever want and never touch half of it. But they just like having that stuff laying around. And the thing about that, the benefit of that is there is a whole industry in Laredo dedicated to creating useless stuff for rich people. And it started with the unbelievable consumption of the Richie Riches up on Laredo Heights. And then the rest of the town looked around and said, well, we can make some money off these fools. And they started coming up with unbelievably useless items, but guess what happened? The Laredo Heights crowd snapped those items up like cotton candy at the state fair, guys. And that means that you can also buy these items, but you know how to negotiate a discount. You just don't buy full retail like those Richie Riches. They don't care because they got $10 million right in their front pocket. So buying completely useless items for the rich at a massive 90% discount is something you can only do in Laredo, Texas. Number 4. Guys, we talked about neighborhoods. We talked about Laredo Heights. Well, what about normal people? What about regular people? What kind of neighborhoods do they live in? Well, there's 2 that stick out, okay? There's Laredo Gardens and there's Laredo Plains. Now, Laredo Gardens is a beautiful community with beautiful gardens tended to by plant and flower lovers throughout the neighborhood. And they share tips, they share ideas on which kind of miracle grow to put in the ground. How do you talk to your plants to get them to grow like unbelievably beautiful? And then you got Laredo Plains. Well, the reason they call it Laredo Plains is not on the plains. It's just plain. It's just beige. Everything is beige. The people are beige, the ground is beige, the cars are beige. But over there in Laredo Gardens, you get a multi-hue color scape. You got reds and pinks and greens and lavenders everywhere. And then you go across railroad tracks, and there's all the beige people. I mean, and it's not just the colors, it's their approach to life is dull. They're like, I just want to work for the government, for the city of Laredo until I die. Whereas over on the Laredo Gardens, they're like, I'm going to start a company. I'm going to start the next Facebook. It's going to be called Flower flower and hue book. What? See, I told you. So the point of this is that you can experience both of these neat neighborhoods, these cool neighborhoods, right? And you can tour them in your car, and you can look out the window and go, well, I mean, I kind of like the stability of Laredo Plains, but I am down for Team Hue, Team Colorful, and that would be Team Laredo Gardens. Guys, that's these are things you can only do in Laredo, Texas, number 5. Number 5 on our list of things you can only do in Laredo, Texas. Well, of course, Texas has a long history of gambling and card sharking and poker, and goes back to the Old West. Well, down there in Laredo Way, they came up with not only an innovative way of playing poker. Okay, they got different games that are called the Laredo School, right? The Laredo School. But in 1810, Pinky Bergstrom, sometime a dishwasher and a horse thief, was also an inveterate gambler, and he came up with an innovative way of putting your chips in the middle of when you make the bet, and he calls it the old tiddly chip. So if you've ever played tiddlywinks, where you squeeze down on one of the winks with another wink, and the wink goes flying, well, now Pinky Bergstrom came up with the old pinky poker chip betting method, where you flip your bet into the middle of the table, tiddlywink style, okay, by pressing on it with another poker chip. I mean, you could even use the box that the cards came in to get it going. If you don't have enough, like if you're down to one chip and you want to flip it in there, tiddlywink style, and you don't have any other chips, you're down to one, you can use the box that the cards came in. It's a very flexible approach, and it just adds that extra flavor that is part of the Laredo School of poker and gambling down there in the southern portion of Texas. Well, guys, we're halfway through, and I have to admit, you'd have to be on near death, okay, barely breathing your last breath, if you're not amazed at some of the things that you've learned so far that you can only do in Laredo, Texas. Let's go to number 6, guys. Let's keep it going. It's exciting. Number 6. Have you ever gone out in the sun? Maybe you had a baseball cap such as this one. Maybe you had a broad brim cap. But you're trying to stay out of the sun because you were told that the sun damages your skin and can result in all kinds of bad medical results. Well, you might want to consider using a Laredo cap next time. The Laredo cap is like a regular ball cap, okay? And you might have seen these ball caps that have like a bill in the front and a bill in the back. Well, the Laredo cap has one in the front and then 2 in the back, forming a triangle or a triumvirate. And the way this works is the other bills keep the sun off of your shoulders and your neck, all right? And then what you want to do is slightly spin the cap a little bit at a time, a ½ inch at a time through the day, and that means you also be able to tell time by the way the shadow is falling on your body from your Laredo cap. And you can only buy a Laredo cap not through mail order, not through Amazon, only on the veranda of the Laredo Cap Store down there in Laredo, Texas. That's number 6. Guys, number 7. It's very exciting. Number 7. Hey, have you ever been to an air show? Have you ever seen the Blue Angels and those guys flying? within inches of each other at over 800 miles per hour. Well, you're not going to see that in Laredo. But they do have the Barnstormer Boys. The Barnstormer Boys are a 50-year tradition down in Laredo. They fly those barnstorming planes, those biplanes. They fly them and flip them and do all kinds of somersaults and cartwheels and spins and dives. And they do it with the stuntmen not even hooked to the plane. If the stuntmen fall off, it's to their demise. And this year, you will be able to see the latest innovation of the Barnstormer Boys, and that's eating their lunch on the wing of the plane, guys. They're eating their lunch and drinking a beer on the wing of the plane as the plane does twisty loops and loop-de-loops and upside downers. Guys, it's the most amazing thing. I can't explain it, but it'll make you ooh and ah. That's the Barnstormer Boys, and guess what? You can only do that. You can only see that in Laredo, Texas. Number 9, number 8, number 9. What are we on? Let's go 8, and then we'll call it a bonus. Number 8, guys. Listen, here's the thing. Everybody likes to have fun, but you also want to grow, you want to learn, you want to push yourself. And you can do that best with reading, and your best reading opportunities are going to be at the Laredo Public Library. But the thing is, you don't have time. Don't worry. Go to the Laredo Public Library. Laredo Public Library. Try saying that real fast. And you can stand in a fountain in the middle of the library, and they have taken multiple books and boiled them into a liquid form, put them in the fountain, and they will pour the books from the fountain onto your body. You stand in the fountain, and the knowledge just pours on you, guys. You don't even have to read. You just stick your head back like you're shampooing your hair, and the books come to washing over you because they're in a boiled liquid form, and they just circulate that book water all over your body. You leave there 25 IQ points higher every time. By the end of the summer, by Christmas, you're going to be a genius, guys. And guess what? You can only do that in Laredo, Texas. Number 9. Number 9 is another science observation. Now remember, this is one of the brightest sunshines in the States. It's down there in the southern portion of Texas, which of course is in the southern portion of the United States. And so sunburn was a constant challenge, and of course you could get sunblock, but it wasn't enough for the people of Laredo. They came out with paper mache block, which is sunblock mixed with paper mache, guys. You can get it in the stores. Just ask for paper mache block, so it gives you that extra layer of protection where you're able to then wipe it on, just put it on your skin, and it's like an inch thick. It's like an inch thick, guys. You're going to have more sun protection. It's called SPF 5000, right? And you're going to enjoy your time in the sun with your friends and your family without the risk of the harmful rays of UVA and UVB radiation. And you can only get paper mache block down there, down yonder Laredo way. This is one of the 10 things you can do only in Laredo, Texas. And finally, number 10, or maybe a bonus, we don't know. Number 10 of the things you can only do in Laredo. Guys, have you met your special someone? Have you met that wife, that husband, that special someone you've been waiting to meet all your life? Well, maybe you just haven't used the right dating service. Well, down in Laredo, if you were to go down there, you're going to meet the woman, the man of your dreams within 3 days, because they have a guarantee at Laredo Singles Dating Service. That is the shorthand version of the name, but the company is named Laredo Singles Date Hot. Laredo Singles Date Hot. That means that your love life is going to start burning with burning love if you get on Laredo's Singles Dating Hot. Okay, and they've got a picture of a pepper. A hot pepper is their logo at Laredo's Singles Dating Hot, because their whole goal is to hook you up with some impressive single that meets all of your expectations physically, emotionally, financially, and also spiritually. And it's only on Laredo Singles Dating Hot. Psst. And then they do the psst. And guys, it's one of the most successful dating services in the country. It's called Laredo Singles Dating Hot. And if you don't meet the woman or man of your dreams within 3 days, you get all your $29.95, your $29.95 complete refund, guys. It's the best deal in the world of romance. And guess what? You can only do it in Laredo, Texas. And that concludes our 10, perhaps 10 plus things you can only do down Laredo way.